Edgar Howe once stated, "It is hard to convince a high school student that he will encounter a lot of problems more difficult than those of algebra and geometry." I think we can all relate to this because high school is a difficult place where everyone is trying to become their own. And when hormones get thrown into the mix, things can get pretty ugly. Today I'm going to tell you about how changing high schools was a major turning point in my life. I went to private school from kindergarten until the 11th grade, and while elementary school was a breeze, high school was another story. Things became about what you had rather than what grade you made on Friday's test. If you weren't driving a luxury car, you would be made fun of. If you didn't donate money to the school, you would be made fun of. And if you did nothing at all, chances were you would be made fun of. Have you ever seen the movie Mean Girls? Well, that movie describes the school to a T. The girls are vicious, and the boys are even worse. It was truly a nightmare. After coming home day after day in tears, I decided I would talk to my parents about possibly changing schools. This didn't go as planned. My parents wanted me to stay because of the education I was receiving. They didn't understand that I just didn't fit in. They looked at it as me changing schools was running from my problems, and they didn't want me to think that that was a solution. I told them that I wanted a change and that I wanted a fresh start. I wanted to change schools immediately. It was not until later on in my 10th grade year that they finally saw what I was truly going through. They realized that I was receiving threats from other girls at the school, and they just knew that it was taking it too far. Although unwillingly, they let me withdraw from the private school and enrolled me into public school. When I started public school, I was in the 11th grade, and it was a brand new school, and the only person I knew was my best friend. I was so nervous my first day. I wanted to prove to my parents and to everyone else that this change would be for the better. I felt like I was finally living in reality when I started my new school. I was around different cultures and people who had different views and opinions instead of just going with the flow. And although the new school was extremely different, it was a good different. It was the best change I've ever made, and I made so many new friends and was able to continue to take courses that challenged me. I finally could just exist and be who I wanted to be. Changing schools was a major turning point in my life, and I think it could be for a lot of people because you finally become who you're meant to be.